Everyone loves chocolate.
Always puts a smile to my face.
And in this series, we're following extreme chocolatiers as they prove anything's possible.
The best piece of art I've ever seen.
Extraordinary.
Moulding chocolate into everything, from the weird and wonderful
So now I'm technically a doctor.
to the simply astounding.
Oh my God! Absolutely amazing. Blew it away.
They're creating edible works of art.
Absolutely delicious.
But temperamental chocolate
Too lucky, third time ruined.
can lead to sticky situations.
Hopefully I stay positive and happy for the rest of the day.
So can these extreme chocolatiers deliver chocolate heaven?
Gonna sort me really out.
Today, a magical fairy tale castle for a 4th birthday party.
It's going to be huge. I'm going to make it at least half a metre tall. Towers and turrets and higgledy-piggledy. Ta-da!
A replica bed with extra bounce.
We're looking at a 4-poster bed, but instead of literally just one mattress, we're going to have a stack of mattresses. The pressure that we've got under is immense, really.
And a surprising sculpture to help beat the blues.
I'm looking forward to seeing the client's reaction to it because they have no idea what it's going to be. And if they're not happy with it, I'll just have to sneak out of the building.
In Tadcaster, North Yorkshire, pub chef and self-taught chocolatier Ashley McCarthy is known for his fabulous sculptures. Everything from fairy tales to circus scenes. And he's certainly not taking his next commission lying down.
The piece that I'm going to start today is going to be a fairly big one, really. We're looking at a 4-poster bed, but instead of literally just one mattress, we're going to have a stack of mattresses.
A local company has asked Ashley to make a chocolate centrepiece for a charity ball.
We wanted to do something just a bit different, so we've asked Ashley to make a detailed model involving our mattresses. Not 100% sure what he's going to do. It's very important for Ashley to impress. We just want everybody to be blown away by it.
Want to get it right. The client's happy. Quite a lot of pressure on this one.
Ashley's 4-poster bed will be stacked with 6 miniature mattresses made from white chocolate and fondant mix. Sat on a dark modelling chocolate bed frame, his toughest task will be making sure he gets every detail just right, including the company's mascot, Harrison the sheep.
They're quite particular in the way that Harrison's going to look, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge to me to make sure that I do get it right.
But before he can get to grips with that, Ashley cracks on with the mattresses, blending 2 kilos of white chocolate and 1 kilo of white fondant.
Just going to warm a bit. Adding the fondant to the chocolate has just made it a bit more flexible, a bit more pliable, and just gives it a smoother finish.
Once softened, Ashley begins rolling the first mattress to size.
That should be about perfect. So we just need to smooth that off.
Before tackling the tricky task of replicating all the bespoke details by hand.
It's a hand-sewn mattress, so we need to make sure we're putting the indentations of where the mattress is pulled so that they're equally distanced apart. Just so, it looks realistic and authentic to the real mattress.
An hour later, and Ashley has carefully crafted his stack of 6 mattresses.
It is a lot of chocolate. So I am extremely concerned about the amount of weight that we've got in there.
But with the 4-poster bed frame still to make,
Weighs an absolute ton.
Ashley's chocolate centrepiece has a long way to go. Down in Basingstoke, for her latest commission, creative chocolate sculptor Laura Miller has got her thinking cap on.
I've been commissioned to make a piece by a lady called Jade for her company Mental Health Awareness Day.
And Jade's hoping Laura's creative sculpting skills will encourage staff to come along on the day.
Laura's sculpture is really important to our event. We want people to have an excuse to come down and take leaflets, speak to people, and be there when they might not have because they feel awkward or anything like that about it. We've given her free rein and I have no idea what she's going to come up with. So I'm hoping it's going to be something amazing.
My thought process behind the design was showing the 2 sides behind mental health, what people choose to see and what is actually going on within someone.
Laura's let her imagination run wild with a 14-inch sculpture of a human head. Using dark chocolate cake as her base, the facial features will be shaped from white modelling chocolate. The trickiest part, though, will be recreating an open section of the brain.
I'm looking forward to seeing the client's reaction to it because they have no idea what it's going to be.
Laura solves her stability issues by stacking her chocolate cakes onto a non-edible central support.
If you were just to stack cake up and carve it in at the neck and just have a mound of heads, the cake would collapse. So hopefully with the rod, we shouldn't have any tiltage or any sort of collapsing.
And once sandwiched together with a thick layer of chocolate buttercream,
I'm gonna take my massive knife and start carving it up into shape. Once we've got a rough outline, you'll be able to see the silhouette a lot more easily.
let's hope so, because there's still the facial features, the brain, and speech bubbles to make. Back in Tadcaster, Ashley's wrestling with the problem of how to support the mattress section of his four-poster bed.
If you took your lats from under your bed, then your mattress will just sink. So basically we've got the same issue with these here.
But he's come up with a nifty solution to give them more support.
By having a piece of solid chocolate, it should literally act like the lats under the bed. Should being the word.
Problem hopefully solved, he moves on to the bed frame using dark modelling chocolate.
Ideally, I want something nice and chunky, old English sort of style bed, with it being a four-poster.
So Ashley rolls out some bedposts and cuts a head and footboard.
So we're just having a bit of wood shrinkage there.
Using modelling tools to create a rustic look.
And you're just representing the grain of the wood just to give a wood effect.
Then it's time to assemble.
The best thing to use is edible glue, which is obviously chocolate. Pressing that on fairly firmly.
And no self-respecting four-poster would be complete without curtains.
So we've got the transfer sheet here. Got some nice sort of flower patterns. Cocoa butter on one side. So what I need to do now is literally transfer that over to the chocolate.
Using a hairdryer, he melts the pattern onto a thin piece of dark chocolate that's been mixed with glucose, so his model curtains can be bent.
See, it's got some flexibility to it, which is what we want.
Then it's cut to length, shaped to fit,
It's really good on the top drapes.
and finished off with some edible tiebacks.
Yeah, happy with that.
Next, the tricky part, creating a replica of Harrison the sheep.
If I get this wrong, then the whole piece is wasted.
266 miles south in Hove. Former financial whiz turned chocolatier Evelyn is working on her latest commission for returning client Lucy.
I got this lovely email from her saying, I don't suppose you could do a chocolate fairytale castle, could you? And, oh God, that's amazing, because I love doing architectural pieces.
To celebrate their daughter Sophia's 4th birthday, parents Lucy and Alex are throwing her a big party and want a magical chocolate centrepiece.
She was our first choice of person to go to. We showed her a picture of a white chocolate castle and said to her, do as you will, and just to put Sophia's name and age on there.
It's going to be huge. I'm going to make it at least 1/2 metre tall. I kind of really like the idea of having sort of some towers and turrets and sort of be kind of tall and higgledy-piggledy. Maybe a few flowers all over it and some nice decorative elements.
The huge fairy tale castle will be made from 8 kilos of white chocolate, shaped to form everything from towers and flags to doors and windows. The trickiest bit will be building with white chocolate, as this is much softer than dark.
The main challenges of producing something in white chocolate this big is that it needs to be quite strong to hold the construction together.
With the large amount of white chocolate needed, Evelyn's invested in a new bit of kit to help with its temperamental texture.
So this is my brand new tempering machine, and it's amazing. It does its thing, and now I've got like 7 kilos of chocolate here ready to use. Wow, check it out.
This machine keeps the chocolate at exactly 28 degrees, the perfect temperature to ensure it will be smooth and glossy. She starts by pouring out 3 kilos to make the castle towers.
This is my favourite bit. What I've got here is quite thick acetate, and then I've got these 2 bars, which means that I should get an even depth all the way along.
The acetate stops the chocolate sticking to the table and gives it a high sheen.
Looking good.
But it cools quickly, so Evelyn has to work fast to mark out all her pieces.
It's like a hot knife through butter.
Ready to start constructing her towers.
Just trying to figure out which way it's supposed to be. This is useless. Useless. C1.
But with so many different pieces...
C1 and C1 has got no windows.
Working out which bit goes where... is like doing a jigsaw.
C2.
And she's still got to decorate it. Back in Tadcaster, Ashley's chocolate 4-poster bed is almost done, and he's now busy with the trickiest part.
If there's a piece that I don't like to do, I do literally put it off to the last minute.
Modelling a copy of the client's mascot.
Harrison is a replica of the actual sheep that they use to fill the mattresses with the wool.
And he's hoping some white chocolate shavings will work as the sheep's coat.
It's really important to get this right.
A quick bit of set dressing, some creature comforts, and his chocolate mattress masterpiece is complete.
I'm really pleased that everything's come out the way it has, especially getting Harrison to be looking definitely sheepish.
All that's left is to get it to the furniture company's ball in one piece.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Ashley's dad, Dave, is on hand to help.
It's him all screwed down. Shouldn't move anywhere now.
After a short drive up the road...
Is it OK? Is it moving?
Everything arrives in one piece.
I'm really pleased that nothing's fallen off at all. It's me done now. Quite a lot of relief. Just need to clean it up. Can't have a dirty bedroom.
Standing 18 inches high and nearly 2 feet wide, Ashley's 4-poster bed is made from 20 kilos of white, milk and dark chocolate. Featuring 6 carefully crafted white chocolate mattresses stacked on a wood effect bed frame, its edible flower curtains made from modelling chocolate add a delicate touch. And the company's mascot looks right at home. With the ball about to start, MD Simon is joined by fellow furniture maker Hayden for the big reveal.
Wow. And that's chocolate.
All chocolate.
What, even the fabric on the curtain?
Even the curtains, yeah.
And the crest, that's all chocolate? I think Ashley's hit the brief perfectly. You know, you can see the craft in the actual item, which is what we've got in our bed. So it's amazing.
It's thumbs up for the design. Now for the taste test.
Fantastic.
I'm really pleased with how it's gone.
It even looks quite comfortable.
Seeing the look on the face makes it all worthwhile.
In Basingstoke, Laura is sculpting a chocolate head for a mental health awareness event.
Chocolate has always been my go-to. I love the flexibility with it. I love that you can go back to it and you can keep sculpting.
Laura uses modelling chocolate to cover the cake foundation.
I use a recipe of white chocolate buttons and golden syrup for my modelling chocolate. It's really pliable and workable and it dries really quite firm.
She needs to make the chocolate as smooth as possible to get the desired marble effect.
I'm quite happy with the overall shape.
Laura can now show off her artistic flair.
I'm creating the features more like indentations rather than having it look too realistic because I don't want to detract from the messages that are going on top.
After sculpting the subtle features, Laura turns brain surgeon. It's a delicate operation. Let's hope the knife doesn't slip.
It was an old medieval medical practice. They'd trepan your skull to show part of your brain. They'd literally saw into it. So now I'm technically a doctor. And I have completed the first surgical procedure. And what I'm going to do now is make the brain. The pink modelling chocolate has been coloured with edible powder pigment. I don't want it to look too realistic with this piece. It's not the time to make it bloody and gory, but we still want it to look like a brain and not a load of sausages.
To symbolise the mental health theme, Laura's making 3D speech bubbles with carefully selected words written with a food-safe pen.
I thought about doing a few of these for the sadder parts and what people think inside.
Using edible paint and a sugar glaze, Laura writes poignant phrases with a steady hand. Just one smudge and this pristine white chocolate will be ruined.
Just a couple more details to go now, and then we should be very close to finishing.
Which is a good job, because client Jade, who has no idea what to expect, is less than a mile away. Back on the south coast in Hove, chocolatier Evelyn has been wrestling with her fairy tale castle.
So, this is going around this one.
But now she's worked out what's going where.
That's ready, that's the first tower.
She needs to work fast to make all the towers before the chocolate sets.
Chocolate shrinks when it sets, and if you let it shrink with this in it and you try and get it out, you'll crack the colander. That's 2 down.
But she's only on the 3rd tower when the white chocolate starts to dry out.
So I'm going to actually just use the heat gun very, very gently. That actually worked really well. Just kind of softened it up enough so that I can bend it around my form. Phew.
Success!
It's coming together!
And after sealing it up with chocolate glue, she can move on to the square towers.
It's kind of working quickly and firmly, but without squishing it, because it could just break. I'm pretty happy with this. I've got straight corners.
The 6 towers might be built, but there's still lots to do. Next on the agenda, the ramparts.
It's come out really well and will sit very nicely on top of the tower.
A fairy tale castle needs turrets, and Evelyn's making hers with paper cones for moulds.
So I'm filling them up solid so that they're not paper thin.
With the birthday party looming, Evelyn's still got to decorate the castle and finish the windows.
I am a bit behind. Let's get cracking.
Back in Basingstoke, client Jade is on her way to collect her commission, but she has no idea what Laura has made for her.
I'm hoping this resonates with Jade and she really understands the messages behind it.
Laura just needs to add the finishing touches. The emblem for mental health awareness, a green ribbon made from dyed white chocolate, and the ears. Just in time for Jade's arrival.
I think it looks like quite a clean, finished piece, which is the look I was going for.
Laura's crafted this foot-high bust using dark chocolate sponge and white modelling chocolate. She sculpted subtle facial features and added words and phrases related to mental health.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love it. That's so good. That's amazing. Is it all edible?
Yeah, so everything's completely edible. All the white and pink is white chocolate, all of the bubbles are chocolate, and even down to the little ribbon at the front.
You've done such a good job.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you.
Next morning, it's Jade's Mental Health Awareness Day, and Laura's sculpture is positioned centre stage.
Really amazed by the cake, and I love the concept and the idea, so I hope everyone else does as well.
Time to find out what Jade's work colleagues think.
Very impressive. It makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Is it chocolate? Oh my God.
It's definitely chocolate, and there's enough for everyone to have a taste.
Oh wow.
Well, that's delicious.
It was really nice.
Oh, it's so chocolatey, it's amazing. Even though I had no idea what I wanted, it was perfect. It looks amazing, it tastes amazing, and she's just completely done us proud.
50 miles away in Hove, Evelyn's sprinkling some last-minute magic dust onto her fairy tale castle.
Hopefully Lucy will be pleased with what I've come up with, because I couldn't just do her a normal princess castle. It had to be big, and I think this is quite big.
Now Evelyn just needs to get the castle to the 4th birthday party.
Come on, Cake.
Luckily, the party's just a few minutes down the road.
Oh, it smells nice in here.
It's taken 4 long days for Evelyn to build this majestic fairy castle. It's a metre tall and has been carved from 7 kilos of white chocolate. The turrets are sprayed with edible gold paint, and flags and vines add a splash of colour. Hopefully, it all adds up to a magical delight for birthday girl Sophia.
Happy birthday, Sophia!
Look at that, Sophia.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That's all made out of chocolate.
Love the windows and the gold turrets and the silhouettes. It's just stunning.
It's just amazing.
With the candles blown out, it's time to taste it.
Never thought top castles could taste so good.
Wow! It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased that they loved it, and it was better than they expected, and that's what I love about what I do.
I like chocolate.
Everyone loves chocolate.
Always puts a smile to my face.
And in this series, we're following extreme chocolatiers as they prove anything's possible.
The best piece of art I've ever seen.
Extraordinary.
Moulding chocolate into everything, from the weird and wonderful
So now I'm technically a doctor.
to the simply astounding.
Oh my God, absolutely amazing. Blown away.
They're creating edible works of art.
Absolutely delicious.
But temperamental chocolate
Too lucky, 3rd time ruined.
can lead to sticky situations.
Hopefully I stay positive and happy for the rest of the day.
So can these extreme chocolatiers deliver chocolate heaven?
Beautiful.
Gonna stop me really well.
Today, romance is in the air with a spectacular centrepiece.
So it represents the two people coming together in love.
Coconut cups for cocktails.
I have my eyes on the lid all the time, so I know exactly where it is.
And a complex plan for a retro record player.
We want, ideally, for the turntable to be turning. So a bit technical. There you go, looks quite good, actually, from this side.
Based up in North Yorkshire, publican Ashley McCarthy is also a self-taught chocolatier, known for his humorous creations.
Job done.
Today, he's tackling a birthday commission for a close friend.
Every piece that I do is important to get it right, but this piece even more so. I've known Paul and his wife, Gaynor, for a number of years.
Paul is turning 60, and his wife Gaynor is throwing a surprise birthday party for him in just 3 days.
I gave Ashley a very wide brief because I know how creative he likes to be. I just reiterated that his passions are music and records. I'm hoping that Ashley can make something spectacular.
Ashley's planning a retro classic, an edible replica record player made out of delicious milk chocolate.
So within the design itself, we're looking at putting together a stereo to play his vinyls on. We want to make some lights on the dials, and we want, ideally, for the turntable to be turning. So a bit technical, quite ambitious in that respect.
Ashley's life-size chocolate record player will feature a rotating turntable, realistic headphones, and a microphone. And if that wasn't enough, it'll be accompanied by a stack of albums made from chocolate and cherry brownie.
It's a lot of pressure, really, and something that I've never done before. So, really looking forward to getting my teeth into this.
Ashley starts by making the top of the record box, with the help of bar runners he's borrowed from his pub.
So, when you come in for the drink tonight, they won't be on the bar because they're in my fridge with chocolate on.
He pours in Belgian milk chocolate.
Scrape it across.
And adds a round hole for the turntable. He repeats the process for all sides of the record player, and while they set in the fridge, more bar runners come in handy.
What I'm looking at, this texture, the mesh they cover the speaker with, peel it off, and it should give me a nice finish.
Let's hope so, as he's still got to put the record player together, add all the intricate detail, and hope his record spins round. Right round. Down in Sussex, Mark Tilling is an award-winning chocolatier, but he's mixing things up for his latest job.
I have a new commission in. It's for a cocktail bar, and they wanted some sort of chocolate vessel to put cocktail in.
Owner Nick is updating the bar's menu, and with a big party plan to launch the new drink, he's relying on Mark to deliver.
It's the first time we've decided to work this closely with chocolate, so there are some concerns. Every time we release a new cocktail menu, we've got to try and outdo the last one that we've done. So it's really important that Mark gets this spot on for us.
So we came up with the chocolate coconut. I've never done anything like this before with actually a liquid in it. I've done other ones like this before with desserts in. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well I can get that to look just like a coconut.
Mark is planning to make 25 ultra-realistic chocolate coconut cups to hold the new pina colada cocktail. White chocolate and tapioca will be mixed to make a bed of edible sand. And for an extra touch, he's adding barrel-shaped chocolate rum truffles.
I like it when people give me a brief, but I like to add to their brief, and I've never actually used this method with the sand and actually had things quite heavy sitting on top of it.
But an even bigger concern is making the coconuts watertight.
Hopefully, if I seal it all properly, we should be OK.
There's no time to lose, so Mark gets stuck in.
First up, we're going to make the coconut. So we're going to do a shell with the milk chocolate.
Mark's using milk chocolate that's been heated to 30 degrees centigrade. The process is called tempering, and it creates small crystals in the chocolate.
Let's get rid of the air bubbles.
Making it smoother, glossier, and stronger.
If we don't temper it, they could melt in people's hands, and then obviously then the liquid's going to fall out as well.
He pours out the excess and leaves the outer shell to set. Mark's making a white chocolate inside layer to the shell to mimic the inside of a coconut, complete with authentic flavour.
We're going to create the perfect thickness all over the whole sphere.
Before the top half of the coconut sets, Mark cuts out a lid using a cocktail stick.
It's OK, I'm quite happy with that.
It's essential that Mark seals the two halves of the coconut securely. Otherwise, these chocolate cups won't hold their drink.
We've got to make sure it's watertight.
Back up in Tadcaster, Ashley's busy making a replica record player, complete with a stack of albums made from brownie and covered with a glossy chocolate glaze.
And now what I'm going to do is carefully try and put that on the top. So heavy. Don't want it to crack and damage the glaze in any way. I think with this, once it's down, it's down. That'll do.
Extra chocolate gives the impression of a well-worn record collection, and the album at the top is a classic.
This is going to be the special one, because this is going to be the Happy Birthday, Paul.
To make a snazzy 60s cover, he's using an edible transfer made of cocoa butter. Once cooled, it just needs a title and an edible picture of the birthday boy.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Time to construct the record player with edible glue. But first, to add authenticity, Ashley's using fairy lights.
So these lights we're going to pop through various places on the piece.
These looky-likey controls are low-wattage LED lights, which means they won't melt the chocolate.
There you go, looks quite good actually from this side. Be even better once it's all painted.
The controls might not be edible, but the disc made out of modelling chocolate will be.
It is like doing a workout. It says we're going to the gym tonight. The challenging bit is to make it look like a record, so we need to put the grooves on.
Ashley then adds a layer of melted milk chocolate.
And then we need to put the grooves.
And for that, Ashley's using a trusty DIY tool, a grout spreader.
And with some form of label on there as well.
With Paul on the label, the disc is looking groovy.
I'm really happy with the way that looks. We've not got long left, and we've got quite a lot of the decoration to do on this yet to make it look as realistic as possible.
Down by the seaside in Hove is Evelyn Day, who gave up a career in corporate finance for the lure of the cocoa bean.
I'm a complete chocoholic. I say never trust anybody who doesn't like chocolate.
Evelyn's hoping her latest commission will be a match made in heaven.
I'm doing a chocolate sculpture for the Wedding Industry Awards. I'm really excited about it because there are going to be 500 people there.
The annual awards showcase the very best wedding suppliers and producers. This is the first time Evelyn has exhibited at this prestigious ceremony in London, organised by Anna and Damien.
We're always looking for something different to keep our guests interested and excited, so it's vital that this centrepiece does the trick.
I really can't wait to see Evelyn's creation and, more importantly, can't wait to taste it.
I want to do something really extravagant. This is the biggest piece that I've ever really done, which is very different from things that I've done before.
Evelyn's 4-tiered chocolate extravaganza will tower over 3 feet tall. Made from 15 kilos of dark, milk and white chocolate, each level will be decorated with romantic emblems of wedded bliss. The whole thing will be topped off with a pair of chocolate antlers that will form a heart shape.
What I'm concerned about is making sure that the design is actually strong and structurally sound so that it gets to the venue in one piece, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Evelyn starts on making the base out of 1.5 kilos of melted chocolate. With the sheer weight of the sculpture that will sit on top, she's got a nifty trick to make it strong.
I'm going to actually use some fresh buttons and I'm just putting them in. This just strengthens it so it's got a bit more structure and integrity.
She pipes in more chocolate using an inner cardboard collar to form raised sides. And while it dries, Evelyn moves on to making the spine that will support the entire structure.
So this is dark chocolate, much easier to work with because it's got more cacao in and it holds its structure better.
After pouring chocolate between 2 metal bars, it's levelled off and left to set. While it's still a bit soft, Evelyn cuts the large and small discs that will be piled up to form the spine.
I'm going to alternate them, so I'll do a big one, then a small one, big one, small one, making sure that they're level as I'm going along, because obviously this is very key. Yeah! That's really good. I'm really pleased with that.
But there's still another 3 tiers to make before this chocolate is ready. Up in Tadcaster, North Yorkshire, Ashley's making some detailed headphones to accompany his chocolate record player.
I think as a child I never really did much with modelling clay, so I'm just revisiting my childhood, I think.
He uses a nifty trick to make dents on a microphone before spraying it with an edible silver dye. And there's just time for some last-minute touches.
It's finally finished. It's hard to imagine that literally 2 days ago this was a sack of 12 kilos of chocolate.
After many long hours of painstaking sculpting, this retro record player with a working turntable measures 2 feet wide and is made from dark white and milk chocolate. Intricate details are everywhere, from a mic and realistic headphones to a pint of Paul's favourite Yorkshire ale. Alongside is a stack of edible LPs made from a moist chocolate and cherry brownie, topped off with a photo of the man himself. It's the night of Paul's 60th birthday party. The chocolate sculpture's in position and the guests are arriving.
It looks so real. I thought we were going to do karaoke.
That's really good. I've never seen anything like it. Paul loves his records, so he's a real vinyl fan.
The guests seem impressed, so it's time to see Paul's reaction.
That's amazing.
Hope you like it.
That's brilliant. People who know me know I've got a slight obsession with vinyl. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's another one of Ashley's amazing creations.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Now let's see if the taste is top of the pops.
Excellent. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
I think Paul's suitably surprised. He certainly won't forget his 60th birthday, so job done.
It's been a great night. Paul's had a fantastic evening. I think it's time for me to help celebrate and raise a glass for Paul.
In Lewis, Mark is coating his chocolate cups to make them look like real coconuts.
This is the real fun bit of doing this. I have my eyes on the lid all the time, so I know exactly where it is, so that should be fairly easy to pull off.
While the cups dry, he moves on to the edible sand.
I haven't done this before, but we just have a go and see what it's like.
Mark combines white chocolate with yellow food dye.
And then you can just blend it. Oh, that's looking a bit bright. Oh! Well, let's hope when I start adding this powder that it's going to lighten it up slightly. If not, I will be making more of it.
He adds his secret ingredient, tapioca flour. This absorbs the fat in the chocolate and gives it a grainy, sand-like texture.
So it's still sticking a little bit, but when it dries completely and gets a bit cooler, and then I'll be making it into a more finer powder.
The coconut coating is dry, so Mark can test his design.
So the most crucial thing about this whole project is making sure that they actually hold the cocktail inside, so we're going to have a little test of that.
Having filled his coconut with water, all he can do is wait.
And it's holding. Nearly there now, just another 25 to go.
And there won't be time to water test all of them. Back in Hove, Evelyn's about to tackle the trickiest part of her wedding awards centrepiece, the 1-foot-tall antlers.
I think they're beautiful objects, and they do actually look like sort of hands coming together and doing a nice heart, which is lovely.
She's made an outline of the antlers and pours on dark chocolate to help her glue the cardboard mould into the right shape.
This is the second time I've ever done it, so hopefully it will work. So far, so good. I'm just going to leave that to set. It's probably going to take quite a while because there's a lot of chocolate in there.
For the sides of the tiers, Evelyn's designed a pair of white chocolate doves, another romantic nod to love.
And I've got a lovely pair of doves.
To give them extra character, she's got a clever trick up her sleeve.
So I'm just carving grooves.
She rubs melted chocolate into the surface before scraping off the excess once it's set.
Just as I imagined it.
After waiting 12 hours for the antlers to set, Evelyn's crossing her fingers that the mould has worked.
Yeah. All out in one piece.
She uses a wood shaver to add texture.
I wanted to have a heart so it represents the two people coming together in love.
Each tier of Evelyn's romantic extravaganza will be filled with chocolates, so all the guests at the event can have a taste.
So they've come out beautifully.
Evelyn's reflecting the opulent features of the event's location in her sculpture.
The venue has got these beautiful ornate balconies, which I've incorporated into the design.
The only problem is the design is very thin and could easily break at any time.
So far, so good. We'll see what happens when I take the acetate away.
But it's not just that. Evelyn's still got lots of trimmings to finish, and she's got to transport this delicate sculpture all the way to London. Over in Lewis, Mark has worked late into the night. He's just finishing off some barrel-shaped rum truffles to complement his cocktail coconuts.
I think they're really going to enjoy these.
Everything just needs to be carefully wrapped and loaded, ready for the 80-mile journey to Winchester.
Really important that we get these coconuts in one piece. If we don't, you know, I've only got a limited amount for tonight. You know, I can't literally just go back and make some more.
On arrival...
Yeah, it's looking good so far. The lids have moved a little bit, but that's okay.
All of the coconuts have made it in one piece. They just need a bit of set dressing.
The whole thing is looking really good. I just hope that Nick, the owner, likes it as well.
Bringing the tropics to Winchester, Mark's ultra-real edible coconuts are an ingenious take on a cocktail glass, featuring a milk chocolate textured exterior and layers of white chocolate inside to look just like the real thing. There's an edible beach of white chocolate, and for guests still craving a sweet treat, there's a smattering of rum truffle barrels.
So this is it.
Oh, wow. I love it. I love all the texture.
Yeah.
Really realistic. Have a taste?
Yeah, have a little taste of the sand.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, really good, yeah. Give you a job, yeah. I was completely blown away by the chocolate sand because that was something that weren't discussed. You put it in your mouth and then it just melts and turns into chocolate. Yeah, it surpassed our expectations.
The reaction was great. I'm really pleased that I've done a good job. Yeah, really chuffed it's all come together now.
Just one last test. Can these coconuts hold their drink?
I didn't realise this wasn't a real coconut. It was insane, yeah, it was so good.
Amazing, really, really clever, and it tastes really good.
It's been a fantastic success. I think we're definitely onto a winner, incorporating chocolate with cocktail.
Down in Hove, Evelyn's adding some last-minute details to her 4-tiered centrepiece.
This has worked. Yes! It's come out really well.
The individual bits have worked.
Now just the big heavy one.
But Evelyn won't find out if the whole piece stands up until it's assembled at the awards ceremony.
Off to London.
After a 70-mile journey plagued with traffic jams, Evelyn and her friend Kay arrive at the venue with very little time to assemble the sculpture.
I don't want it to be off-centre.
Yeah.
It's all kind of the side.
So stressful.
Just as well Evelyn came fully tooled up.
How's that?
Yeah, it's kind of straight.
Is that straight?
Yeah. You're right.
Thanks.
Crisis averted, the antlers are put into position.
It's come out much bigger than I thought it would be, and I think it's quite a showpiece, actually.
Evelyn's romantic chocolate extravaganza has taken 3.5 days to make. 4 tiers of dark milk and white chocolate are held in position by a totally edible dark chocolate column. The delicate white balcony has survived the trip. And white doves, a red rose, and theatrical edible antlers in the shape of a heart complete the theme. Time to show wedding event organisers Anna and Damien.
Hello, how are you? Good.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely
Wow.
to meet you.
Wow.
That in the flesh, that is spectacular. How amazing. It's so perfect.
Wow.
Absolutely blown away, exceeded all expectations. It's hard to believe that this creation is actually edible.
Damien's allergic to chocolate, so Anna does the tasting.
Wow, that is absolutely delicious.
I'm really annoyed I can't have any, it's ridiculous.
Anna's delighted, and now the guests are arriving, they can taste it too.
Hey, it's been nice tonight, it's lovely.
Oh my God.
Tastes as good as it looks, easily.
We gave her a brief and she's absolutely nailed it. It looks incredible.
They both really loved it. It's quite a journey to get there, but yes, it's worth it in the end.